So one of the most interesting situations in the entire 2023 recruiting cycle just got even more intriguing. And of course, today we're talking about the Jaden Rashada saga. Because per several reports, Jaden Rashada, the Florida Gators commit, has formally requested a release from his letter of intent based off of a contention the Rashada family had with the Gators NIL collective. Today, we're going to break this whole thing down because this is an intriguing situation, one I'm very interested in. But before we can, as always, y'all know the drill. I need to hear from you. Hop down to the comments. Y for yes, N for no. Are you surprised we're watching this play out in front of our very eyes? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions may not seem big, but they are massive to content creators such as myself, and we're on a push to 20,000 subscribers. I'd love nothing more than to have you a part of this unbelievable family. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And this has been an intriguing situation to watch from afar. Jaden Rashada is a very talented prospect, really lit it up throughout his entire high school career, but especially his senior year was rising up the board. He was a former Miami Hurricane commit, but he flipped his commitment from Miami to Florida not that long ago. And when he did that, Florida fans naturally rejoiced because they had a very talented quarterback. And one of the things we talk about ad nauseum on this channel is that whenever you get a quarterback, a blue chip guy like a Jaden Rashada, that can be a great and powerful snowball effect. That can really get the ball rolling. Guys want to play with these blue chip quarterbacks. We see it time and time again. And that was a really big catalyst for the Florida Gators recruiting class. But fast forward to now, and that catalyst in Florida seem to be at odds with one another. And per The Athletic, this all stems from the Florida NIL collective offering the Jaden Rashada family a $13 million NIL deal, which now, once again, per The Athletic, they no longer want to be able to go through with. And that's where all of this stems from. Now, look, I'm going to be very honest. I have no idea what the actual numbers are, but it's being widely reported that the $13 million number is accurate. Whether it is or not, I have no idea, but that's all I have to go off of. What I do know is this. If it was 1 million, 2 million, 13 million, the amount is not as relevant in my opinion. If you're the Florida Gators NIL collective and you agreed to pay a player X amount of dollars, well, then you should probably be paying them X amount of dollars for several different reasons. First and foremost, that's the landscape we're in. The NIL era is here. You're going to have to be able to pay if you want to get the results your institution so desperately wants. That's just the name of the game right now. And Josh Pate put this best. Josh Pate always does a phenomenal job. He really put this best when he said, one, just what I said, that's the name of the game, and two, this has been going on forever. And when he broke this down, it was great because he said it's not just the backdoor handshakes that he's talking about. It's you improving your athletic facilities. That is a way you're spending money to help attract prospects. Well, similarly, now the Florida Gators are finding themselves in a situation where there's a big name prospect in the class of 2023, Jaden Rashada, who is at odds with their NIL collective. Going into 2024, what you don't want is to be known as the institution that has had problems with their NIL collective. And someone asked me a question in a video, and I'm very sorry if you're watching this video. I tried to find your comment. That way I could actually give you a shout out. I was not able to find it. Hopefully you are watching this. Drop it down in the comments if this is you. Someone commented on my previous video talking about Jaden Rashada, and they said, well, how is this a Florida NIL collective problem if there's only one individual that's had a problem with the collective, and that's Jaden Rashada? And that's a fair question, more than a fair question. And one, I think your logic isn't wrong. If there's only one individual that's had a problem, if we look at this holistically, that would point to the NIL collective not being problematic. However, this stems back to my original point. It doesn't matter if it's one individual having a problem with the collective or 10 individuals having a problem with the collective. If the collective agreed to pay someone X amount of dollars and then reneged on that deal, that's a problem. And you do not want to be known as the institution that does bad business in an era where business is about to take over college football. You do not want to be known as the institution that practices in bad business. So I'm super interested to see how all of this goes. I'm super interested to see what we continue to learn because, as I always say, we're just going off of the known information right now. So I don't want anybody out there to make any judgments. The information is not complete. What we do know is that there's been a contention between the Jaden Rashada family and the Florida NIL collective, and that stemmed for the release of his letter of intent. So what does this mean for the Florida Gators quarterback room? Well, luckily for the Gators, you got in a big-time transfer and you have a 5-star quarterback in the class of 2024 that all Gator fans need to be very excited about. But in the meantime, this is absolutely a situation we have to watch. I've talked about this at length. I think it's only a matter of time before we get further litigation into NIL, and I think the Supreme Court could get involved. Why do I believe that? Well, it stems back to NCAA versus Alston, where Justice Brett Kavanaugh really set his sights on the NCAA as a whole, where the Supreme Court in that case was looking at a very specific thing to do with the NCAA's business structure. Justice Kavanaugh was far more interested in the bigger picture, the NCAA as a whole. And he questioned the antitrust laws for the NCAA, stating that no other business could get away with not paying their employees a fair market wage on the theory that they don't have to pay their employees a fair market wage. So the Supreme Court has already stated they're interested in hearing from this, that they don't feel like the structure of college football is inherently legal, and this is something we need to watch out for. Can't wait to hear from you. Hop down to the comments. That's it. See you.